What is going on, guys? Welcome back. Commentary for you. Want to thank my sponsor, Steel Supplements. Link and discount code down in the description. You also know I'm a Weeble. Prefer to feel what's your best promotion in the pinned comment. All you need to do, click the link, open account, agree to the terms and conditions. They are going to give you free stock. And I gotta say, quite the play here. More so if you watched my video from yesterday where clearly EA knowingly walked away from NFL simulation football in terms of the AWS that was giving them player logic from NFL games and instead went with Sapien technology. And I think this play really shows the result of that poor logic and planning from EA. So we're going to take a look at what happens on this lead block here. I think we all agree lead block in all cases needs to do everything they can to get to the immediate threat to the ball carrier and allow them to go out into the open field. We're going to call this player Clint. I want you to understand that Clint here, in terms of his vision, looks directly at DeForest Buckner. He is looking right at DeForest Buckner as Buckner loses containment, and the linebackers here are nowhere near any gap in the line. They're just standing still. That's what makes this movement here so erratic. He moves away from DeForest Buckner and puts Buckner in a position where his vision now is directly in the backfield, really before the halfback even gets the ball. This movement right here shows you that the lead blocker is running in place, stuck on a lineman, while DeForest Buckner gets in the backfield. I want you to watch this from the top because to me it's more damaging when you look at it this way. He literally has two paths directly in front of him. He has to make a decision here from an AI standpoint of which way to go. I think everyone can look at this and see that he needs to go towards Buckner to reset that block and double team rather than move over to the right. But what does he do? Moves over to the right. Literally right here gives DeForest Buckner, top tackle, a clear shot into the backfield, turns his back to Buckner and allows the handoff, which has not even happened yet, to even be compromised if Buckner can get in the backfield fast enough. This is a failed running play from the beginning with logic like this. I also want to show you one thing here that shows me how broken this game is, because his arm goes back right here, and I want you to watch it. We're going to zoom in, because this is a critical detail of broken game logic. Watch his arm pull backwards right there. That to me is not just the running animation, it's the game recognizing that he's let the blocker go free through this gap. These are the type of plays that when people say get good at Madden, I kind of have to laugh. You can't have a better defense in this situation. You can't do more than this, right? There is no challenge in this play. The linebackers are standing still. One of them gets picked up. Darius Leonard doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage, and the play is blown up in the backfield, and nothing has to do with me being a good or bad Madden player. This is my defense just going through a series of animations. And real quick, because I know a lot of people will sit here and say, well, it's just a video game. You're assessing in a way it's not meant to be assessed. Listen, it's a football game. And this is how football has been assessed for years. This is how simulation football should be assessed when you're making decisions as to who plays on your team, who starts on your team, who gets cut on your team. And that's why when we talk about players getting cut, it's so imperative we understand that this logic here to me is programmed by somebody that in all sincerity was cut from NFL squads. And it's more than likely logic like this that led to those decisions. Now, I'll respect the fact that he got to the NFL to begin with, but at the same time, it's the poor decision-making that he showed in those camps that led to his dismissal more than anything else. And when you look at plays like this, there's no reason to not correlate the two, because the reality is Madden does not give you the tools to properly deal with this. I'll give you an example. If you have that play happen to you, whether it's from a defensive perspective and I said, hey, I want to blow up every run like this. How do I set my team up in a position to do that? How do I make sure that DeForest Buckner clears that gap every single time, even if there is a blocker staring directly in front of him? There's nothing that I can do. It's just offsetting animations happen to work in my favor. More importantly, though, if we assess it from an offensive perspective. And I say, listen, my run play got blown up. And I can't have this happen anymore. My running back can get hurt. My running back can fumble. Didn't get back to the line of scrimmage. Hurts the stats. I don't care what way you want to project it. What tools does EA currently give you with Madden to prevent this situation from happening again? The answer is none. There's no consistent tool because you don't know how to address this. Was the offensive lineman too weak? Would more strength have him hold the block longer? Was the awareness or the play recognition too low for the blocker for him to understand what he could have been doing? Would I have been better to run to the opposite side where perhaps DeForest Buckner would be double teamed if I flip the play and maybe have two linemen hold him more securely so I could get back to the line of scrimmage? EA and Madden don't give you those opportunities to learn from failures. They simply just have the failure play out on the field. Now, from an offensive standpoint, you probably set your controller down for a moment, try to recompose yourself, get frustrated that you had no control of the game. But from a defensive standpoint, I literally sat through a celebration cutscene. A celebration cutscene that's actually in the thumbnail of this video where DeForest Buckner basically prays over the running back. I guess if you're just a casual football fan, I guess if all you watch in terms of your football is, highlights and look at box scores and you allow that to be what tells you the story of a game, that would make sense. But the reality is there's nothing to celebrate on this play from a defensive standpoint. My linebackers never made it back to the line of scrimmage. In fact, one of them should have been pancaked that wasn't. When we talk about simulation football, we talk about the ability to go back and realistically break down plays and have a firm understanding of why things went right and why things went wrong, and then make adjustments and assessments to improve the gameplay as a gamer replicating football to make sure those things don't happen again. We were sold, going back to yesterday's video, the data would be used from NFL players that would help them go into an NFL simulation engine to replicate what was happening from an NFL field into this NFL game. And for whatever reason, EA stepped away from that to instead go with Sapien technology that allows players to react to their specifications with some type of skeletal structure in the game. It's clear in playing the game that defenders react very much differently and offensive players react very much differently under this Sapien technology, and I would use this as one of the core examples, as well as some other videos I have in the week that are going to show you that technology is not getting a better result than what we had in the past. And when that is the case, you have to put the blame on someone. I personally am willing to put the blame on Clint. Clint, as a former player, should look at these plays and be very much taken back. He is the one that should say, I want to program a game to never do this again, and he's failed in doing so. And it's about time we get someone that is going to respect, listen to the community, accept the criticism, but most importantly, make changes to the game so that we have a game that is fun, engaging, and accurate to play, or EA needs to simply release the NFL license, let someone else have an opportunity to make a game, and realize that this game, much like this play for the offense, continues to be a failure that never even gets a chance to live up to its opportunity. Love to know your thoughts on this. Appreciate you watching this video. You know I will be back in a week with more commentary.